there! It's What Everybody Wednesday, which means we have another episode of What Everybody Podcast just for you. It's the belated but much needed July 4th edition of Yo Dummy for the occasion. Ryan's coming back to LA for a little bit, and that means, I don't know, what does that mean? Johnny's gonna share with us how he figured out how to save a little money on shit. Yeah, let's start there, but before we do, grab yourself a hot dog, maybe a burger, no cheese of course, as I always like to say. Don't forget the six-pack of cheap beer and enjoy the show. So with no further ado, Ryan and Johnny. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the What Everybody Podcast. Another episode of Ryan Harris bitching at Johnny U. That's what we got here. Hello.
That couldn't be further. That couldn't be further from the truth. Couldn't be further from the truth.
That's such bullshit. It's totally the truth.
What did I say then? What did I say? What did I say to rub you raw?
You're bitching at me. I don't even know. It's fucking white noise to me now. I don't even listen to the words that are coming out. It's just
Listen, my man. Listen. Someone's got to give you the facts.
Well, facts are meant to be broken, bro.
Facts. That's promises. Promises were meant to be broken, dude.
I knew that it wasn't the same thing, but it works.
Already our best podcast.
I got to admit, last week's podcast is pretty good.
Last week's podcast was pretty good. Last week's podcast was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Come on down.
I wish he would have said that in the intro, but next time.
We should have asked. Maybe he has maybe he's not allowed to say it, but I'm going to be the new guitar player on The Price is Right.
Yeah,
it's pretty badass.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah. What's that red thing?
Oh, well, I was going to tell you, I've got new things in my life, dude.
More.
I'm dropping them all over.
Are those lighters?
No, these aren't lighters. These are my new things that I got because Juul is now illegal. I've decided
that's official? It's really it's Juul's illegal? Well, it's off the shelves?
No, it's not off the shelves yet because they're allowed to sell it while it's in an appeal phase. Okay.
Why?
For those who don't remember from 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, maybe, we had found out that Juul was going to be illegal to sell the Juul pods, the smaller versions of these guys, in America. It just like we're saying, it's a big conspiracy because there's no question that my camera looks foggy. Why would that be?
Okay. I don't know, man. You got to figure your own shit out. But I have a series of questions. This has led to a series of questions in my head. Let me know when you're ready for those. I'm
convinced that the tobacco industries were the ones behind this because the tobacco industries, they only took away the one disposable pod that was the best-selling one on the market. So when this happened, it made me start looking into. I never got one of those Darth Vader vapes because I didn't want to be Darth Vader. And
you got to let me pop in a couple of questions here too, because there's some things that I want to follow that I'm just simply not following.
Okay, let me just give you 2 seconds to just finish this off. So after this Juul thing happened, I didn't want to get one of those big mod things, and I found out that they made these vapes that you can refill, where you refill these vapes. Now, one of the big reasons I didn't want to get one of these kinds of vapes before is because you have to change the coil in these things, and I was like, I'm not MacGyver over here.
What am I, a physicist?
Right. So then I found out that you can have one of those systems with pods you just replace. The amount of money I'm saving already, Harris, is insane. Mm-hmm. It's insane, dude. I was paying almost $30 a box of those Juul pods, buying 2 to 4 of them a week. Okay? So we're talking 90, anywhere from 60 to 120 bucks I was spending a week. I got 2 different pod systems.
No wonder you never paid me that 20 back.
Right. I got 2 different pod systems.
Yeah.
And 3 different juices that will last me for weeks, dude. I'm not going to have to buy shit for weeks. And it was still cheaper than buying 1 week's supply of Juul pods.
Go to the YouTube and look at this insanity.
Okay, so what do you want to know? What do you want to know?
So the Juul pods were just refillable pods. So what you
bought weren't refillable. They were just disposable pods.
But what I meant was what you bought for $100 and whatever weekly was just a little cartridge that you put into the pen.
Right.
You didn't have to buy a new pen. How often did you buy a new pen?
Not very often.
Not very often. Now, could you use that pen for these new pods that you have?
No. The size difference, the size difference is crazy.
Okay.
Like this
Size does
pod
matter.
holds
Size does
2
matter.
milliliters of
Okay.
juice. A Joule pod came with 0.7 milliliters in a pod. For every 3 Joule pods equals 1 of these. And I fill this up probably once a day.
Oh, so you'd have to like pour it into those little things?
Yeah, I turn it upside down.
Oh, it's annoying. Don't do it. Dude, don't show me now because you'll spill it on your computer. And
Well, no, I just filled it before I came here.
You'll wreck it all.
No.
So what's the deal with those walkie-talkie looking things? Like the vape things that
Well,
are like a big...
I've been educated.
Gigantic.
I've been educated. So
Okay.
the juice you put in these little guys here, the pods, the big ones you're talking about don't have pods. They're like a fucking tank. You fill up a fucking machine or something. Or you fill up, I guess they are pods, but they're like way bigger and the battery's huge.
Those are the ones that blow up, right?
Right. I put nicotine salt in here, which is a lot more nicotine.
Salt.
Because it's a smaller battery. It's
Salt?
basically, this one's 5% nicotine. This one is 3% nicotine. And the Joule pods were 5% nicotine. Now, the big box mod things, they use juice. And the juice has a lot less nicotine in them.
No wonder we're all dying.
For example, the thing that has 5% nicotine, that's 50 milliliters of, it's 50 milliliters of nicotine in
the
that
juice.
bottle. Right, which makes it 5%. The big ones are they use 3% or 3 milliliters, which is 0.03% nicotine.
So they're weaker.
They're weaker, but really not, from what I'm understanding, because they give such a huge amount of clouds that you get so much more. The guy the other day when I was inquiring about the different flavors, which we'll get to the cereal one in a second.
That's why, like when you're like behind the Honda Civic at the red light, and you see this big cloud come out the sunroof.
It ain't coming from this guy.
It's coming from the walkie-talkie.
This is a big hit off of this guy.
The walkie-talkie vape.
Right?
Yeah, dude, you're so
It's more than
cool.
the Joule. It's more than the Joule, but it's not as much as one of those big guys.
Being a dick. I'm sorry.
But the guy at the store
Do you
told me
still
that
have the blinker? You can't hit the blinker anymore now, huh?
I got my weed vape over here, so these are my 3 different vapes.
Jeez, dude.
All healthy, of course.
Yeah,
the
man.
guy at the store told me that you couldn't put Nick salt, which has got more nicotine. You couldn't put that in the big machine. He said if you took one hit off a big machine with Nick salt, there's so much nicotine in this you would instantly puke.
What would make you puke? What's the mechanism that would make you puke?
The mod system. They're like the big boxes, the guys with the assholes with the big clouds coming out the sunroof.
Yeah, it's just it's too much at once, and your body just pukes it.
Right. So I'm gonna tell you what I got going on with these 3 vapes. And
You
this
have a
one
handful of them. Yeah. What's that one?
is Stizzy. It's weed. It's a
Shout
hardcore
out
OG.
Stizzy.
A hardcore OG at 87% THC levels. Pretty high shit there.
7%. Okay.
This is my This is the Argus Pod system, and this is the 5%.
This is like a
nicotine.
product review.
Right, and I got here the V-God dry tobacco, and the bottle.
V-God.
Yeah. The bottle looks like made by Salt Nick.
Wow. Someone was arrogant enough to name their company Vape God.
I just want to say this. I've had this bottle for a week, and I filled it every day. I'm not even halfway through the bottle. This bottle cost me $13. Do the math on that. That's
Saving money.
Less than half of one box of Joule pods. So this will probably take me about 2 to 3 weeks to finish. Probably, I'm going to guess it's probably a 3-week bottle. In that amount of time, I would have bought anywhere from 6 to 12 boxes of Joule, probably closer to 12.
That would have been like $300.
Right, and I bought this for $13.
Oh. Is it way worse for you?
No, this is way better for you. I'm not smoking cigarettes.
Why didn't you do that in the first place?
Because I thought you had to fucking change the coils and the pods. And now I found systems where I just changed the pods.
Who educated you?
I stumbled upon it when the Joule shit went bad. I started looking online to see what kind of vape systems were out there, and I found it. I originally found this one, and I wanted, but then I found this one, and I saw like so many reviews on this that were great. These pods, to replace the actual pods, are $10 for a box of 3. And each pod lasts for like 2 weeks. So Even if it lasts a week, it's still like cheaper.
Now, if I remember correctly, upon our last Juul discussion, you said about the second half of the pod kind of sucked.
Yeah, this is not the case with this. The whole thing's like taking the first half of the Juul pod, the whole thing.
Okay. So
this is 5% tobacco.
Why does anybody give a shit about Juul?
Because people don't know about this because they see Juul every time they walk into a gas station.
They got to listen to this podcast and get their learn on.
So this is 5% because I wanted the strong nicotine for that because that's what.
And the other one is just weaker. That's why you have. Wait for it.
The other one.
Wait for it. The red one is just weaker.
It's 3%, and the reason why it's 3% is because inside this pod here, I've got cereal flavored juice.
Cereal. Okay. So when you're breathing when you're looking like Too Fast, Too Furious coming out the sunroof, it smells like cereal, huh?
Right. Now, it doesn't look like that coming out of my sunroof because it doesn't blow the smoke the same way, or the vape.
I just wanted to try to connect the two.
I do got to say that I've always been a guy who doesn't like the flavors. When I first quit smoking cigarettes, I bought disposables, and I bought like blue raspberry, and I got real sick of it real fast and realized that I just want to feel like I'm smoking a cigarette. So that's why, after a bunch of research, when I bought the dry tobacco, I did a bunch of research and found out that this was the one that tasted most like Juul pods. That's why I got that.
Now, when you say it tastes like that, I'm a dummy. You can't talk too fast here. What it tastes like vape, or it tastes like Juul pods. So what's that taste like?
Like a cigarette. They taste like Virginia tobacco.
Okay.
That's what it's supposed to taste like.
Okay.
The 3% tastes like cereal. Now, the reason why I'm getting my flavored ones in 3% is because I'll hit this more because it tastes good. Like
that's like your snack. That's like your snack.
Dude, no lie. Let me do a little taste test for you.
Yeah. Describe your palate.
It tastes like Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
Like the cereal. So I got the flavored ones in 3% because I figured that I would hit this more than I would hit this. And I'll tell you what, this is a stronger hit than the Juul. And this 5%, if I hit it like I was just hanging the other day and I hit it a bunch of times in a row, like I would a Juul, and I was just like, well, that's too much. So that's why I got the flavors in 3%.
Just going to ask you, does all this experimentation and trying this and trying that make you feel like shit?
If you have too much. If you have too much.
Yeah. I bet you outside your studio door in the hallway, it's like filtering underneath the door,
Appears.
Yeah, now, I know. Just like black ice on stage, man. It's badass.
I couldn't decide which flavor I wanted, so I bought both of them. Now, I haven't tried this one yet because I have this one in this pod, and I'm just going to use this pod for
my cereal.
Do
you have a second cereal?
No, it's not cereal.
What is it?
If you had a guess from this box.
Oh, yeah, I like this. I like this game. I have to guess, yeah. Okay, so the box says Solace.
No, look at the color. Look at the color of the box and tell me.
It's like a white box. For people listening, it's a white box with black text. It says Solace, has a black box with a warning, and then there's tan around it. Black and tan. I'd say it tastes like a black and tan. I don't know. Isn't that a beer? Black and tan beer. You got black and tan beer vape.
I don't have black and tan beer vape.
Leather shoe.
Just looking at that color of that juice, what's it remind you of?
It looks like honey or like caramel.
You're going in the right direction.
Butterscotch.
Yes.
Oh, you got that was. You know what? I like the flavor of butterscotch, but anytime there is like faux butterscotch or like something else tasting like butterscotch, I don't like it.
This is straight up butterscotch. I'm
break it out, dude.
I really want to try it, but I don't want to open up another pod and just have a pod with juice sitting around. So I'll wait until this one's done, and then when
that's why you need a fourth vape pen. You need a fourth one.
Well, before I go on tour in August, I'm going to get a second one of these because this one hits better.
It sounds like you have the financial means to do that now that you're not buying Juul pods.
Dude, I'm saving a bunch of money. I haven't been drinking, and I haven't been buying Juul pods.
And the podcast is killing it.
The podcast is killing it.
Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast, the Whateverbody podcast, here where we review vape pens.
Yeah, we did 3 of them.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, we did 3 vape pen product reviews today. I'm not any more likely to go buy one, but that's not because that's not your fault. I think you did a good job.
You can do it with CBD.
Yeah. Okay. I will. Maybe I will then.
I'm trying to figure out why my camera looks extremely cloudy. No lie.
Because you're smoking like a chimney.
No.
It's probably a light thing, dude. Do you have the lights set up any differently?
No. Maybe.
It's done that before though. Go to the YouTube, see Johnny's cloudy ass camera. You have a brand new, sparkly, good quality phone. You don't know how to use it. You're spending all your time researching vapes. You got to spend your time researching lighting. Imagine the possibilities if you would research like.
I might want to turn those lights out.
Yeah, like what would happen there. Now, I have a legitimate question before you. Words are hard. I have a legitimate question for you before we move on.
My hair looks bad?
Focus. No, that's fine. It's all good. It's all good. You look great. You're a beautiful human being.
Podcast listeners, let's take a guess and DM Ryan with the answer. How many times do you think Ryan has cursed me while editing? Ballpark figures.
Oh. Yeah, that's a high number.
Fucking Johnny.
It's a high number.
Johnny, fuck.
All right, well, fix your shit. Now my question.
Yeah.
Remember, as when you started messing with your phone, I said, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
The amount of hours that you put in to researching all the vape pens and the batteries and how to do this and that, okay? Mm-hmm. The amount of hours that you spent figuring that out versus the amount of hours that you've spent researching lighting, that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, lighting doesn't interest me. Well, no, like seriously, it's really weird. You got a valid point. Let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
This is where my ADD issue is. If I'm not interested in something, I just don't want to do it. Now, granted, when you don't want to do something is probably when you should be doing it the most.
Well, that's not true either. I mean, just because you aren't interested in something doesn't mean you shouldn't research it. However, that does have a limit. You're not going to become a lighting professional, but you can look it up enough to figure those things out. You're not going to become an audio engineer, but you can look it up enough to be like, well, this is how my microphone works,
I think I did.
And I know you could do it. I know you can do it because, spoiler alert, Ryan's coming out to LA next week. We'll talk about it in a minute. And I was talking to you yesterday about it as I'm anxiety, stressing out, figuring out my logistics. And you come up with like 5 good ideas. Oh, we'll just do this and blah, 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 and this, and you can go here. And so you have the ability to figure out logistics.
Yeah, but here's yeah, of course. Dude, I fucking plan tours on a regular basis.
Yes.
Of course I have the fucking possibilities. But exactly. I enjoy those things. I enjoy helping my friend. That's why I do it. It's like my friend
appreciate
needs help.
that.
I do it.
And I don't want you to think that I'm...
Lighting, lighting. It's like, I don't want to fucking look up lighting. What a boring topic.
But we have a podcast.
What a boring topic. I'm not the... I
help me help you.
And I talk about shit. I didn't sign up to be a fucking lighting engineer to do a podcast.
No. But it's part of the gig, dude.
I don't know, bro. You need to sit back and chill out.
Here's a relevant question for you. Do you like playing the drums?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that took a little bit too long, but that's the answer I was expecting. Do you like flying for 16 straight hours?
No.
Right, but you do one to facilitate the other, correct?
I see where you're going with this.
It's similar, isn't it? It's pretty similar.
Not really. No, not really.
You do one thing that you don't like to help you better.
Let me explain the difference. Let me tell you. Let me explain the differences there. Okay. Now, yes, flying 16 hours is an inconvenience to go play drums for like 6 weeks straight. Yeah, you're right. That could be a problem. However, it doesn't require me using my brain. I get on a plane. I sit on a plane, maybe watch a movie, maybe take a Xanax, go to sleep, wake up. I'm where I need to be. I wish if I could do that and wake up with the knowledge of the lighting information, like I'd be like, okay, turn on my computer, put the webpage on, take a Xanax, wake up the next morning and know everything that was on that webpage. That would be beautiful.
Well, Mr. Convenient, you could go to YouTube and watch videos that you don't have to read where they tell you how to do it.
Dude, I tried doing it with iMovie. I got like
you're
2
not
minutes into
Zanny
it.
sleeping. You're not Zanny sleeping on a plane, but you could watch those YouTube videos and get a better idea of what's going on. Helping me help you.
Well, you know what's going to be great is you're going to be here. There's a segue
We're
into you
an odd-
coming out
we're-
here.
we're an
we'll
odd
get
match
to
of friends.
We'll save Yo Dummy to July 4th edition after
Yeah.
your topic of moving here. You're moving here, and I got the best idea. When you come here, you could figure out the lighting in the room with my stuff while we're here, and then boom, when you go home.
Oh, great.
I'm all
Yeah,
set.
no. Hey, dude, one more thing for you to figure out. No, because here's a concern. The podcast is going to change. We're going to do our best. Okay, we're gonna be in the same room. It's going to be cool in some regards, but it's going to be different in other regards. So now I guess I'll figure that out too. I don't really like my demeanor today. Just so you know, I am annoying myself in this conversation. This isn't how I expected it to go.
I'm sitting back laughing at watching you getting worked up over there.
You're laughing at my discomfort.
Ryan's moving to LA next week.
I'm
for
coming
like
out for a month.
He's coming out for a month. I hope he stays. And he is stressed out about that. And this is misdirected stress right at this Jewish ass over here. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I first of all would like to say that you made me out to be way more stressed than I think I actually am.
You're working yourself up into a tizzy about the lights. I got you.
I know you got me there. I know you got me there.
You got nothing to say.
Because now my brain is split. I can't even use my words today into like trying to help you with your lighting thing today.
What
Reminds
movie
me
is that? Help me help you. Is that Jerry Maguire?
Cool. We'll call it that. But today it's me on this podcast. He is Help Me Help You Wednesday. You know what it is. You know what it is? The grind has made me tired. The grind has made me tired.
But here, see, you're coming to LA though. This is good. Why don't you tell everybody what you're coming to LA for? Ryan Harris, what are you coming to Los Angeles for?
Yeah, well, so I'm coming out to do some music stuff. I don't really want to talk about exactly what it is yet because it's coming out, but it should be fun. Did I explain that well? Should I say that again?
No,
I'm coming
that's
out
good.
to play
You got
music.
that? He's coming out to play music.
Yeah.
And
finally,
we're gonna do
finally, our podcast has
In person.
two guys that play. Well, I was going to say it has two guys.
How
that
crazy
are
is
actually
this?
playing
Listen to
music.
this. Here's a crazy fucking concept. Ever since you called me on May 5th, 2020, you called me. I remember I was in the emergency room.
How dare you?
And you called and said, "Hey, did you want to start a podcast?" And I thought it was the craziest idea coming from you,
Yeah.
but I'm glad we did it.
Really?
Never
You thought it was
once.
crazy? I was like, this is a great
Because
idea.
but in all due respect, back then, Ryan
like you
was
didn't
not.
know me.
No. I knew you enough to know that you weren't somebody who was walking into a bar and starting up conversation with anybody. I knew that much.
But amongst my group of friends, I'm not that.
You're a
I'm
funny
not- I'm not-
motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're great.
Thank you.
But these were all new friends. You didn't know these people that are listening back then.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was a strange idea. But where I was going at with this is that in all this time, we've never been at the same location. Not one writing session, not one practice session, not one recording session.
And even when I was in LA at the start of this podcast, that was when quarantine was going on. So we were both in our apartments.
Yeah, but you know what? I remember you left in December of 2020, and I remember I was bummed because things were they weren't lightening up at all. But we'd been in the house so much, we were getting a little bit more daring. And I came, like the last 2 weeks you were there, I started my diet, and I came to your house, and we would walk from your place at Hollywood and Fairfax, Hollywood and Fairfax, more or less. And we would walk all the way down to the fucking Rainbow and back.
Yeah.
On an empty, completely deserted LA. It was the trippiest thing.
Weird.
There was nobody out. Walking down
shady.
Sunset in the middle of the afternoon on a fucking weekday, not a fucking car on the road.
Yeah.
This is great. I think this is great you're coming back. I don't know how long you're staying. You stay a month, and that's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, let's leave it at this. We're going to try to make the podcast cool from the same room.
Are we going to
We'll
bring
see how
any
that
bands
goes.
or something in? Should we try to
I would love to do all of that. I would love to do. It'd be so cool to have a band in there.
Let's have the Mercury
It'd be
Rise.
cool to have a guest in. So we did a really bad job of getting into what we thought was going to be the primary part of this episode, the Yo Dummy 4th of July edition.
We'll get to it. We're getting
Still
to
think
it right
it's yeah, still think it's funny.
It's funnier than anything we've talked about.
Do you like? It seems like fireworks are becoming like a personal competition now, like amongst neighbors.
Let me ask you something. Is this
Yeah.
year the first year that you could get like pro grade fireworks? Because like I was driving around LA on 4th of July when the fireworks were going off, and it felt like fucking bombs going off everywhere. The fucking earth was shaking. I was down near downtown, and like south of downtown was just it was crazy. Every block, people who lived on that block were fucking lighting off huge square things that they had in the middle of the road. Because I would drive down the street and it would be
they're like mortars, basically.
You're like, it looked like fucking a war zone, dude. It was crazy. I've never been in a war zone, but I'd imagine that's what it would look like. Ryan Harris, we're gonna watch some videos, okay? These people, this is the Yo Dummy July 4th, 2022 edition. With that being said, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. This is what's going on.
This is what's going downs. Goings downs?
This is what's going downs right now. We're going to show you some videos of a bunch of dumb fucks. Let's call them what they are. Idiots. And
I don't know, dude. Are they like...
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, I mean, like I can understand the fun of buying
when I
fireworks.
say this name, what's the first thought that comes to your mouth? John Pierre Paul.
Oh,
what's
Jason
the first
Pierre
thing
Paul?
what's the first thing? Whatever.
Pierre-Paul.
Jason Pierre Paul. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Football player, New York Giants, blew his hand off. Well, blew two fingers off.
Right. Lighting fireworks off on July 4th. You get paid millions of dollars to run with a goddamn fucking ball. Actually, you don't even have to hold the ball. You just got to tackle the person with the fucking ball. Bottom line, motherfucker. Yeah. Idiot. Fucking dummy.
Yeah, yo dummy.
Yo dummy.
So this one's been going around. I've seen this one.
Oh, yeah, dude. This one's everywhere.
All over the place the last 2 days or so.
This one's fucking crazy.
This was crazy.
If you're not on the YouTube, man, if you haven't watched the YouTube, this is a great time to go to the YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video, because that always helps. But go and check this video out during the podcast.
It is exactly why.
Listen to it. It'll sound crazy.
Just leave it up to the professionals, huh?
Yeah. Nice afternoon in the neighborhood.
Kids.
Driveway.
There's
front yard
kids around.
hanging out.
Baby. The little kid got hit. Did you see the little kid get hit? And then.
This is crazy.
Crazy.
Harris, being that went so viral, we should look up if anybody got hurt during that. We should look up if somebody got hurt during that, because that's the most viral one.
I mean, I have no idea how to specifically ask about that video, but I did find this: firework-related injuries and deaths spiked during the COVID-19 pandemic. I guess they're...
Well, yeah, everybody's stuck in their house, and that gave them a reason to be able to step in their backyard.
But at least...
Where did they get the fireworks from?
At least 18 people died from firework-related incidents in 2020, compared to 12 reported the previous year. About 15,600 people were treated in the hospital emergency department for firework injuries in 2020. There were about 10,000 ER-treated firework injuries in 2019.
Think about how fucked up that is. All those people going to the ER in the heart, the worst time of the fucking pandemic.
Actually, now that we're saying this out loud, I didn't realize that article was comparing the pandemic 4th of July to the previous year, but still, it gives you an idea of how many people are just like hurting themselves. I like fireworks. I'm not ragging on fireworks.
Fireworks are great. Just be responsible.
Yeah, I mean.
Like, I was watching the news on July 4th the other day, and they were talking about a guy who died in a cul-de-sac in El Monte, California, which is near LA.
In a what?
Okay? In a cul-de-sac. You know, like it's a circle. So like it's in the neighborhood street. The guy goes out there with one of those big fucking pro grade fucking boxes. One of those white boxes we're going to show in one of these other videos we got.
Right.
Okay, don't show it yet. Okay?
Waiting.
So,
holding.
The guy dies because he held the fucking box. Okay? Not only does it shoot all that shit out of there, But the guy who was explaining it on the TV, the cop or whatever, was explaining it on the TV. There's a huge ball of dynamite in that thing that at the very end explodes. So if he wasn't already fucked by holding it, then he was close enough to get hit by the goddamn fucking dynamite.
So there probably wasn't much left of that gentleman after said explosion.
No, but what's fucked up is the neighborhood. So everybody in the neighborhood's probably out there watching it, little kids and shit, and they see some dude get blown up in the middle of the cul-de-sac.
My neighborhood did it. My neighborhood, actually, you know what? This is to answer your question. Have you ever seen this before in the past? My neighborhood has done that for the past probably 3 years. There's 2020, 2021, and then 2022. So yeah, like the pandemic. It's pandemic related. There's like a little field that, I mean, this year they had to spend like
in a
thousands
field.
of
That sounds like a terrible idea.
But this is my smart assness. The first year that they did it, I filmed it. And I actually used the video. I put it on my Instagram, and I was like, yo, I tagged everybody that I knew that was like responsible for it. And I was like, yo, thanks for not burning my house down.
Yeah.
No one really talks to me
now
anymore.
you don't care. Now you're like, they're not going to burn my house down. And when you start thinking like that is when they burn the house down.
Yeah. Yeah. Might
You're
relate
like,
to why no one...
I'm not cool with that. Do you pay neighborhood fees?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, I ain't cool with that. I'm not cool with that shit. Stop it.
Yeah. That might be why no one talks to me. So here, let's pull up. This video might actually be my neighborhood, dude. Let's
Really?
Let's see. No. It'd be great if it was, though.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be awesome.
This is just a collection of shit gone wrong. This is actually 2022, so.
Oh, right.
I don't have to include all this, but we can talk about some of them.
Yeah. Where's it go wrong at? Oh.
Right about there.
Hold on real quick. Hit pause for a second. How does it like end up shooting at the people?
I mean, maybe the concussion of one knocks one over, and you know. I mean,
there's multiple going on at the same time.
It's a pod sitting on the ground. It's like a little tube, you know. So if one, I imagine in my Bro Science Wednesday opinion that the concussion of the explosion knocks one of them over, and then the rest just kind of domino. If I had to guess, dude, Bro Science. Like that, see? It went off sideways.
Are people laughing or screaming? This thing's out of control.
Oh, this is on a ring. This is off a ring.
Oh, boy.
Jeez.
See, Harris, this is what's going to happen to your house.
Jeez, just yikes. Yikes.
Ah, shit! That one fell over.
Nah, shit. I mean, that looks like gunshot.
That looks like machine gun shots, right?
If you would, I know it's a sensitive subject. If you would talk to somebody that was in war and like PTSD is a thing,
that would fucking absolutely freak them out.
And that was their neighbor. Like that's what I think of. You just
he might
people
pull out
are
a gun.
So,
and, yeah, I can't.
No. Like, do you know how inconsiderate? Now I'm gonna sound like the old uptight guy, but you know how inconsiderate that is for everyone else around you.
What do you think about the gas prices?
And another thing, wouldn't have happened under Obama. Jeez,
dude. Jesus fucking! There's people walking around there.
Oh, this is that one. Who is that dude?
This is a different angle of the other one.
Who is that? It was it's a celebrity. He's a rapper.
Yeah, but
what was his name?
I didn't know the name. I couldn't remember it if my life had to depend on it.
Did I write it down? I
Somebody
sure
was
didn't.
Like, listen, dude, I'm going to push you off this cliff if you don't know that name.
Yeah. Anyway, he's a rapper. Now, if you're listening to that, it's really, really annoying. I get it. But the video shows a really nice house. I'm assuming in Beverly Hills or in the hills somewhere.
It looked like that actually looked like it was more like a Miami place.
Okay. It's beautiful. and there's upwards of 10 nice cars in the parking lot, and they have
When he says
fireworks.
nice, like really, like
Really,
nice.
really nice cars.
Fireworks were shooting at him
5 feet away from them.
5 feet away.
Happy 4th, guys.
Let's watch the other video first because this has more in detail. So let's watch that other video and come back to that scene in this video right here. Can we do that? Is that possible?
I didn't follow 3 words of that.
The one we're watching right now is about that rapper. The other
Yeah.
video we have is a different perspective that stops right when shit gets crazy. And that's
I
where
didn't
shit
save.
gets crazy from a different
I didn't save that one, but I guess I can look it up and we can find out the name of that said rapper. Okay, so it was Chief Keef. Chief Keef was the rapper that we couldn't
Keef is weed.
think of his name. Keef. Isn't it
Yeah,
Keith
yeah.
Richards? Keith Richards. They ripped off.
Keith
They ripped off
Richards,
the OG Keef.
Yeah, and speaking
Hey.
of OG, keef is when you grind weed up
Yeah.
in a grinder to roll a joint. All the
Yeah.
crystals and shit that fall into the screen underneath is keef.
Oh, cool.
Now, this perspective is the beginning of it. And you can see the big box thing that I was referring to earlier in this shot.
Yeah. See, it's going decent at first.
That's the first one, right?
But I mean, look how close.
No, right.
They're
Then they light
putting-
this
they're
other
putting
one.
that
Then
to
yeah, no, but
everything.
look. Yeah, but that's not the one that went to shit. Now look at the nice white car and the black car. There's a red car, another white and black car. Real nice cars here, okay? Palm trees everywhere, hovering over. Palm trees hovering over where this thing is going off, all right? Not
Gonna
even
let
thinking
you
about
narrate.
not even talking about the fire that could be created by that just on the palm trees.
Fast forward. I'll fast forward.
No. Go back. See the setup. See the
No,
setup.
you
all
can
right?
look here. This is where it goes. This is where it goes bad. See,
It's gonna be this is one shot up.
that tips.
It's gonna be good, bro.
His friend's trying to warn him. His friend warns him. They light this one thing.
He lights it and then he runs 5 feet away.
Goes up, right? But oh fuck. It just shot the other box. Yo, dummy!
All right, I'm kind of done with the videos.
Listen.
But look, let's I like metaphors. Let's think of a few metaphors. If you've never driven a car before, what's a speed that would kill you? 40 miles an hour easily. That would be like, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a metaphor. Like it'd be like jumping into a car
40
and
miles an hour into
going
a
down the
brick wall.
highway, having never done that before. It would be like skydiving with no instruction. But
Or
you
no
went and
parachute.
you bought a parachute. That's actually a better metaphor. It'd be like skydiving without any instruction. I don't know. Whatever, dude.
Well, listen. Bottom line is that's why we call it Yo Dummy, because
Yo
they're
dummy.
idiots. They're idiots. I got some questions. Let's do some questions, Harris. Let's do some questions to get the fuck out of here today.
My man, I like whenever you're on it like that.
So I'm going to go first. You know the drill, okay? My first question to you is, if Van Halen does a reunion without Eddie Van Halen, what are your thoughts going to be?
It's impossible.
But they're talking about it. You know that, right? It's like a
So who is it? Like David Lee Roth,
David Lee
Michael
Roth,
Anthony,
Michael
and-
Anthony, and Alex Van Halen. I've heard Joe Satriani and I've heard Vito Bratta.
It's just not the same, dude. I mean,
It's not the same, but
if they do it, I hope it works out well for them because I love Van Halen. But no, dude, it's not the same. Well, my question to you is, you sort of answered it, but I was going to ask you what flavor the cereal vape was, and you said Fruit Loops. So I guess I could have a follow-up question of, is Fruit Loops the only option for cereal? What if
Oh,
you're
no.
a Wheaties? What if you're a Wheaties guy?
Well, I don't know about that, but I'll tell you what I found yesterday, and I'm kind of on a compulsive streak. I didn't buy it, though. I stopped the compulsion, is I found cotton candy. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably be too sweet.
You know what
for
I'm
me.
hoping about this is I still have a sweet tooth. I still
Yeah.
I'll go to town on some fucking candy.
It's gotta
So
get
I'm
rid of your
hoping that,
sweet tooth.
that this will help me get rid of the sweet tooth.
That butterscotch one would do the trick, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, because the bottom line is I want to smoke, so I'll use my 5% dry tobacco juice most, but I'll binge on the sweet stuff. That's why I got it in 3%.
Yeah.
So I'm up. Okay, my question for you is, what is the least thing? And you can't say traffic because that's too easy. What's the least thing you're looking forward to coming back to Los Angeles?
Oh, like what am I dreading or whatnot?
Let me ask that again. Let me ask that again
Oh.
because let me ask that again.
I think I follow you.
So let me ask you this question, and traffic cannot be the answer. What is the least favorite thing you're looking forward to coming back to Los Angeles?
What are you least looking forward to? I believe is what you're getting at.
You got it. You got it, pal.
Yeah.
Don't
Dude, it's
fucking-
simple. That's easy. That's easy.
yeah.
I don't have my apartment. You know, I don't have my place there anymore. So accommodations are what I'm most dreading.
Most right.
Which
Okay.
I will go on the record and say that I have 5 people have reached out and been like, "Yo, you can stay." No, 6 people have offered
yeah?
like me stay, and it made me feel really nice. It's like, oh,
That is
I got
cool.
good. I do have good friends. Jonny, you being one of them. Thank you for your
Yeah.
hospitality, my friend.
How did they know?
Just talking to people. Hey, coming out.
It's nice. It's nice. That's nice.
Okay, I got a question for you. You don't strike me as a fireworks type of guy. Like, did you ever go buy fireworks?
Yeah, I mean, there was because like I remember when
I'm not talking bang snaps.
No. I remember when I was growing up in Philly, suburbs of Philly. Fireworks are illegal there, and I remember like I would order them out of like magazines and shit, and like get like find Roman candles and get them delivered to me and stuff like that. Nothing like crazy like that, but like I would get like a small little box that like is
Yeah, like bottle rockets or
not
something
bottle
like
rockets,
that.
a little bit more than that, but
Yeah, M80s.
But I didn't get M80s because I never saw the relevance in just lighting that.
It was dumb to me. It was like, oh,
Yeah,
it makes
just
a loud.
made no
It makes a
sense.
loud
That's-
noise.
I
Cool.
always thought that's how you blew a hand off, which is great
Yeah.
segue to my next question.
But you get those ones. No, real quick. You get those ones that like the little snaky reaction or whatever. Like,
Oh, the snake. That's
like those
the
are
snake.
fun. Those
Those you
fun.
could buy at the Wawa, but like.
Yeah.
And the snaps you could buy at the Wawa, but anything
Remember
like
in
a
Jo-
Roman candle or anything like that, you couldn't buy anywhere.
Remember in Joe
Pennsylvania.
Dirt, the best part of Joe Dirt, where he's like, "Who's do's, who's don'ts."
My next question would be: do you know anybody personally, 6 degrees of separation included,
Yeah.
that has blown off a body part from fireworks?
Oh yikes! Well, we talked about Jason Pierre-Paul, so yeah, I already answered your
But
question.
do you know him? That's not 6 degrees of separation. That's just a guy
6
you read
degrees
about.
of 6 degrees of separation means like
No, it means you know somebody. There's a
Oh.
six
Yeah,
degrees
no.
to get connected.
then my answer
No?
would be no.
No,
Do you?
me neither. No.
That would have been really great if we were like, "Yo, I know a personal dummy,
I'd feel really
and I'm
bad.
here to call them out on Bro Signs Wednesday."
I know a lot of dummies out there in the world that I'm not going to call out. But let's hear
Yeah.
it. Next question. Last question, I think, isn't it?
All right, so yeah, this is my last question. Besides being in the same room, and that obviously is like a podcast. Like, what do you think the best benefit of being in the same area doing the podcast is going to be? Words are hard. You get the question though. What do you
Oh,
think the
that's
best
an easy-
part about being together is going to be?
We're in the same time zone.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like that helps a lot. Because like
Yeah.
it sometimes works at a disadvantage. Probably, I mean, we both get it. Sometimes I got to start earlier than but in most cases you get it worse because it's later in your day. And when I can only write at 8:00 at night, you're starting at 11 o'clock. So like,
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably the biggest one, even more so than doing it in the same room. It's doing it in the same time zone,
Well, buddy, we'll see
also
how it goes.
I also think it gets us one step closer to our ultimate goal of being able to bring people in here with us and get
Ooh,
live music going.
Should we
and
spoil the secret?
what our goals are?
We do have an end game.
We do have an end game, and
Yeah.
we'll let you see it when the end game happens. But
Yeah,
we
I like
have a
that.
plan. There's a big
Dangle that
picture
carrot.
plan, and this is a long haul project that we are on. That
Yeah.
it's going to take a little time to get to where we want to, but that's why
We're
we
doing
give
our
ourselves
best, so shut up.
Yeah, that's it. So with that, everybody, thanks again for joining us on another episode of the What Everybody podcast. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, and report on the YouTubes, on the Instagrams, on the TikToks, on the Twitters, on the Facebooks, all of the things above. Please do it. We love you. We miss you, and we'll see you next week.
See you soon.